Well, hello there, everyone. It is Sunday, June the 12th, year 2022. It's a magical day, isn't it? Yes, I hope you're doing outstanding. And real quick, a reminder, this Wednesday, which is June the 15th, I will be going live again. So I encourage you to try to tune in and ask me any question you want. Just don't spam me. And the general topic I might talk about at the beginning is how I think majority of Americans who work a job can become financially independent in approximately 10 years, okay? But when we're asking questions, you don't have to stick to that topic. You can ask me basically anything you want, just no spam, okay? So, again, my disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I am not a CPA, okay? I'm going to talk briefly here. I'm going to keep this one short because I'm hungry, okay? I'm losing weight. I'm doing that intentionally. I'm trying to drop a few pounds and it's working. And I just changed how I eat a little bit and continue my exercise, and it's working well. So anyway, real quick here, I'm going to talk about how I grew my portfolio, my real estate portfolio. All right? Because I did it while making very little money. I actually retired from being a police officer after a year after getting started, so my income dropped even more. Okay, so how did I grow my portfolio? I will tell you, and I've told you this before. But it's something, even if you're a veteran, not a veteran, if you're in my mastermind group and you're feeling a little stuck, or you're just stuck for some reason, things to consider, okay? Things to consider. I have sold altogether now 3 rental properties, all right? I've sold 2 in Virginia, 1 in Alabama, all right? When I sold it was the second house I bought in December of 2017. When I sold that in, April, May, I think May of 2019, I then took that money and I bought 4 more houses. So I lost cash flow from 1 rental, but I then picked up cash flow from 4 rentals. And each of those 4 rentals was cash flowing approximately what my first rental was cash flowing. Okay? You see how I just quadrupled cash flow by doing that. All right? And then later in the year 2020, I did cashback refinances on 2 properties. And when I got that money, I turned that money into buying 9 houses. Now, when I did the cashback refinances, my cash flow dropped on those 2 properties. My cash flow dropped. It was not an alligator. It was still positive cash flow. But whatever it was before, and I don't know those numbers off the top of my head, whatever it was, it dropped. But then I picked up 9 cash flowing properties. And the cash flow from those 9 more than made up for cash flow dropping on 2. Much, much more. Okay? So I did that. And then when I did sell, I ended up selling my triplex late last year. And that's the one I had done a cashback refinance on. Okay, but when I sold it last year, I didn't buy more real estate. I put that into one of my oil investments. Okay, all right, so I did that because a lot of my money from my oil investments and mineral rights came from other investments. It didn't come from cash out of my pocket. All right, but what it does then, it gives me cash flow, which then I use to either live on or to make other investments. All right, but I recently sold my house, one of my 2 houses in Birmingham. And that money is basically, I just put it in the bank because my cash reserves, to my mind, were dropping too much, and I wanted to raise them back up just a bit to be safer. All right, so we've done that, and now I'm in the process of refinancing one of my rental houses up in Indiana. All right, this one is one I bought using seller financing. I had a 4.9% interest rate, 30-year amortization, but 15-year balloon, meaning the amortization was 30 years, but after 15 years, I'd have to pay the balance of that mortgage, okay? I've owned that house for pushing 2 years now. I think almost exactly 2 years. All right, so I've been in touch with the gentleman who sold it to me. He actually emailed me back this morning, thanking him for the heads up. I shot him an email letting him know I was doing a refinance, and we're going to close in July. So the point of doing this is, because if you think about it, if I got a 4.9% interest rate from the seller, interest rates aren't that low right now, are they? They've gone up just a bit. They've ticked up. So I logged into my account this morning and they showed me now getting a rate when I do the refinance of 6.13%, which is better than what they were showing. So that's good. So I ran the numbers using 6.13% because I don't know when I'll get locked into a rate. Hopefully, the appraisal process is in the works, but I don't know when the appraisal will be done. If you've had any real estate that you've bought, you know when they do an appraisal, you don't know exactly what it'll come out at. I have probably done, I don't know how many I've done. I've had a lot of appraisals done in my life, and I know sometimes they come in at exactly the buy price or plus or minus $200 from the buy price, but sometimes they're an outlier and they come in $30,000 cheaper, or they come in $30,000 above what you're buying it for. You just don't know. It all depends on who that appraiser is and how they're feeling that day and how the market is that day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so you just don't know. So if it appraises what I think it should appraise at, I can do a cashback refinance at 75% of that value, but I'm doing a slightly lower percentage than the full 75%. And that might be why they give me a slightly better interest rate if it comes back at that higher appraisal amount. But what that will do to my cash flow is it'll drop it from a current $596 a month positive cash flow. All right, that's pretty good cash flow, at least for my house. It's my number one cash flowing rental house. But it's going to drop it down to approximately $440 a month. Still, very healthy cash flow. It will be, I didn't check, but it'll be right up there amongst the best ones I have. I don't know, I don't think it's the best. I think I have some others in the 400s, but it'll be right there. It might still be number one. But my cash flow is going to drop about $155. Okay? But now I'll get a little chunk of money back. Not a lot. I think closing costs will be held out of there. So I might get 17, 18,000, something like that, if they hold out. Because I don't think I want to pay the closing costs out of pocket. So if they held out of there, let's say 17 grand I'll get back. 17 grand is roughly enough to get me either an acre of mineral rights or maybe one more rental house. It all depends on what I can find. Can I find a good quality rental house? Because money has a tendency to burn a hole in my pocket. I don't go to the store and spend it. I like to put it into investments. So if I can't find a good rental house meet my criteria in the near term, and near term doesn't mean like the next week, because I'm in the process of doing some other things too, I may get another acre of mineral rights. Because if you've watched my channel at all, you know I invest in oil and natural gas, and we're just in that right position right now. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, my stomach's growling. I'm getting hungry. It's lunchtime. So hopefully you'll turn in this coming Wednesday, June the 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here live. I'll be talking to the same camera, but I will get feedback from you. You can ask me questions. You can say hi, whatever you want to say. Okay. And we'll see how it plays out. My goal is to go roughly an hour. I don't want to keep you all night. I know some of the other folks I know go live, they do 3 or 4 hour sessions because they say the questions keep coming in. And that's fine. I'm just not at that level yet. Because if I wrap it up within roughly an hour, hour and 15 minutes like I did last time, then I can go out and go for a walk. As long as it's not raining. We've been getting a lot of rain here recently. So anyway. All right, y'all take care in life. Stay safe in all you do. Do start investing. Make it a habit. Make it a part of your daily routine to think about your investments and what you can do to grow your wealth. Okay? So with that being said, Mazske is signing out.